Okay, so let's start part 3, which is our last part here. So if you see here, this part I have clearly written down for y'all. Now, what we are doing in the third part is basically the entries that we are going to put into the ledger. So what are the entries that you need? Okay, I'm making this video to make it look clearer for you so that you will not be confused and it's not a messy stuff. So what I've done for you is I've clearly done what are the required entries. Okay, if you look at this, these are the entries that you require. One is your disposal. Obviously it's your disposal account. Okay, disposal entries. Number 2, it will be your purchase of new fixtures, and the third one will be your depreciation for the existing and new assets. So these are the 3 entries that you have to put. Obviously when I say disposal entry, it's not going to be just one entry. Disposal entry, you can see here I've done the working for you. So close the asset account, close the provision account, and record the receipts of money that you get for the disposal. So I've done all the entries for you, and I'm pretty sure you all know what are these. Okay, so what is the disposal value? The disposal value is obviously the value of the actual asset, the cost of it. So that is why disposal is 1,005, fixtures is credit 1,005, which means that later when I do the accounts, you'll realize this 1,005 will be automatically deducted from the balance of 28,600. Okay, the next part here will be the provision account. So we have to close the provision account. So if you do not know where I got the 285, please go back to part 2 of the video and see how I got the 285. So this 285 is actually included in 6185. So you have to minus. How to minus? This is the entry. So this is the second entry, and the third entry is obviously the record of the receipts for the disposal. So obviously if you see here, they have clearly stated that you have received 1,150 ringgit, $1,150. Okay, so when you look at this, you sold the fixtures and you received a check. So debit your bank and credit your disposal with 1150. Okay, upon completing this tree, as I always tell you, these 3 are the main steps after which you will automatically be able to detect whether it's a gain or a loss. Okay, and how do you detect it? Also, I've taught you, if the debit side is more than the credit side, this is for the disposal. For those of you who've forgotten, remember, once you enter all these 3 entries, okay, and your disposal account is ready. If the debit side is more than the credit side, this is obviously a loss. Okay, if the debit side is smaller than the credit side, this is obviously a gain. Okay, so this is how you detect the loss and gain. Okay, the second entry will be purchase of new fixtures. This is only one single entry, and you debit your fixtures and credit your bank. That's it. And the last one is the depreciation of the existing new asset. That is, you debit your income statement and credit your provision for depreciation. Again, if you do not know how I got the 2470, please look back at part 2 of the video, okay? Because part 2, I've only focused on the calculation of the depreciation. Okay, now let's go to the fixtures account. I've already drawn up, okay, and the disposal. So let's see how to do the entry. Now, 2019 October 1st, you have a balance. Okay, this is fixtures. Fixtures is an asset. So asset is always debit balance. So what you do is 2019 October 1st, you write here balance BD, and this will be 28,600. That's it. Okay. Now, the next entry is the provision account. So provision has a balance of 6185. You all know that I've already informed you, provision is always on the credit side. The balance BD is always here. So again, 2019 October 1st, and the balance BD is actually 6185. All right. So this is the balance that was given in the question. So we are done with the first part of it. Now let's put in all these entries. Now let's do one by one. Let's do the closing. Since you have already done all the entries correctly, now you don't have to worry. You just have to put in the entries into the ledger. Now please bear in mind that we are not opening bank account. Okay, if you look at the question never asks for bank. The question only asks for fixtures, provision, and disposal. Okay, so let's do the first entry. You debit your disposal and you credit your fixtures. So let's go to the fixtures. So the fixtures account is here, and you please make sure the dates are always correct. Now, you sold this asset on 2020 January 31st. So you have to write 2020 January 31st. Remember, marks are awarded for all correct dates. All correct dates. Okay, and this you write here disposal. Okay, which means that one look at this, if you can read my ledger or if you're good at reading ledger, you know already there's a minus of 1005 from the 28,600. So we are done with this first entry. Now let's go to disposal account. So disposal account is the same. You have to write 2020 January 31st. So all will be January 31st because this is the date that you dispose of the account. Fixtures will be 1005. Okay, so we are done with the first entry. Now go to the second entry. Close the provision account. So you debit your provision account with 285. So it will be here 2020. Okay, this one will also be January 31st. Okay, January 31st because this is the date you dispose of the account. So disposal account and the amount is 285. Last but not least, you have to put it on the disposal as well. So 2020 January 31st, you write here provision for depreciation, and provision for depreciation here will be 285 as well. So you're done with the second entry. Okay, so you're done with the second entry here. Both you're done. Now go to this, record the receipts. As I told you, bank, you don't have to record, so you don't bother about that. Let's go to the disposal part. You have to credit. So the date, you don't have to rewrite because it's the same date. So you just write here bank and you write 1150. Actually, if you look at it now, okay, one look at it, you can already complete your disposal account because it's already the three entries are already there. So if you see which side is bigger, obviously the debit side is bigger than the credit side. Therefore, this is a loss. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just write here income statement. Okay, income statement, and it's actually a loss on disposal. Okay, and how much? Simple. The bigger amount is here 1005. This side is 1005 as well. So 1005 you minus your 285 and you minus your 1150, you get 65. So that is your loss on disposal. Okay, now let's go further. We are done with both. That means in one word, we are completed with the first entry. Now let's go to the second entry. Again, we are not bothered about bank. So debit will be on the debit side. Fixtures will be on the debit side. Now remember, now the date has changed. This is March 31st on the debit side. So you just have to write 2020 March 31st. You just write here bank. And you are adding the new vehicle, new fixtures here. Okay, so that's it. You're done with this. So time for you to close this account. Obviously, this side is bigger, greater. So this will be 28600 plus 3500 is 32100. Okay, 32100. So here also it is 32100. So obviously this will be 2020. Our closing is September. Okay, so September, remember the dates must be correct. So balance carry down. So balance carry down will be now you minus 1005. So this is the actual cost of your vehicle 30600. Do not forget 2020 October 1st balance BD. Complete your entries. Don't leave it hanging. Okay, so this is you're done. Last but not least, you see for the provision for depreciation, you have an entry here. So what happens is first you already done the disposal part. Now this part you have to do. So provision for depreciation. Again, as I told you in the exam question, they only ask for fixtures, provision and disposal. So you don't have to do income statement for the year ended and all that. So again, this will be 2020 September 30. Yeah, September 30. And this will be income statement. Okay, so this is for the remaining assets that you have. And this is 2470. So one look at it, you know this side is bigger than the other side. So just balance the account off. So 246185 plus 2470, you will get 8655. Okay, 8655. Now don't forget, you already disposed of the one asset. So this is the amount that you need to minus, and therefore your September 30, your balance CD, yeah, the one that you're going to carry down will be different. Okay, you have to minus the 285. Therefore you get 8 8370. Now, what do you do? Not completed. Go further down and show the balance. So the balance will be 2020 October 1st balance BD. So you see, your provision and your cost is still there. It's just that what you have done is you have minused whatever that has been disposed and you have added whatever that is new. So you got your new figure, which is 8370. So I hope you are clear. You can actually refer to this answer. I hope you're clear with the lessons. Part 1, part 2, part 3. I've clearly, briefly explained to you, and I hope you get it. Okay.